want to stay active. So Dana, I know you're around. I want to fight again ASAP. I mean, last time I came in here, I said I'm the new dog, and I pissed all over his cage. Next time, I shit on your grave.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to another Sound of Violence. I am Chris Pulver. Holy shit, I used my first name, so now it's gonna get real awkward when I say I'm here with my co-host, also named Chris Dapper. It's the Chris's, y'all. What's up?
Yeah, you made it more formal than usual.
See, now you guys know why I don't use my first name, because it just turns into the Chris and Chris morning show. Despite us not recording this in the morning, this is actually going to be our first ever, well, we've probably done recap shows, but I don't know if we've done just a recap show before. We're recording this on Monday, because we generally tend to drag on a bit when we're talking about podcasts, and we can't be having regular, 3.5-hour shows, so we figured we would move our recap to this, and holy shit, dude, this is a great card.
Yeah, I thought this was absolutely fantastic for a card on Fox.
Definitely.
Every single fight was competitive mostly, except for maybe just a couple, and that'll usually happen. So,
yeah,
I was pleased with this card. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, bunch of wild finishes. Bellator also had a great card despite their awful ratings, evidently. They're on 2 networks, and they pulled, I think, 403,000 views, which I think the UFC did 1.7 mil, which is fucked up because it was a good card. We'll get to that briefly as well. KSW had a good card, too, so it's a good weekend for fights. But I guess we should first, let's get to our fake sponsors as always, which we'll keep much briefer this time. Chris, what you drinking?
Right now, our fake sponsor, unofficial fake sponsor, brought to you by...
Super real, totally not fake sponsor. Papa Vodka presents, Doug Stanhope presents our sponsors.
That's right. Yes, we always have to have that precursor. Anyways, thanks to our sponsor from Doug Stanhope presents, Papa Vodka presents.
Backwards, but keep going.
Yeah, I'm winging it. I am drinking Moose Drool Brown Ale.
Oh, hey, that's an old school one.
Yeah, from Big Sky Brewing out of Missoula, Montana.
That's right. Shouts out to Chad and Ben.
Oh, yeah, they're in Montana. Shouts out.
Oh, man. Well, I am drinking Mission Hard Root Beer, which is real good. And then I also have a Coors and a Busch Light. Actually, a regular Busch. Sorry, I'm not that trashy. For my backup beers, because I did not feel like drinking another 8% bacon and eggs porter. Those things are big, and they get to me. Fantastic, though.
They creep up on me big time, because I love coffee.
Yeah, that's a good beer. Anyway, why don't we get into this card? Well, quickly we can talk, I guess, Bellator, because you did watch a bit of that with me, right?
Yeah, I did.
Let me pull up that card on Tapology, because everybody I love from Sherdog is gone. But Bellator 197 Chandler vs. Gertz was super solid. I know nobody watched it, or at least not according to the ratings. But also, Bellator is not helping themselves at all by constantly... oh my god, why can I not scroll down on this page? Are you having this issue? Oh no, never mind. Sorry, that was me leaning my keyboard against the couch. Full disclosure, I did not watch all of the undercard, because Bellator undercards are regional MMA as hell.
Yeah, no, I only watched, actually, unfortunately, the co-main and the main, because that's when I got to your place.
I mean,
when we recorded last week.
Yeah, and those were, they were kind of the ones to watch. There was a dude, actually Adam Sella, who everyone remembers from Uriah Hall's spinning back kick, was on the card.
Yeah, the guy who almost died on the show and had to cancel Tough.
Yeah, that was, oof. If only they canceled Tough. Derek Anderson was on the
Sorry,
card,
Adam.
who had a good win over Zach Bucha. I probably butchered that dude's name. And then for the main card...
Bucha.
Yeah, sure. that one. And then for the main card, there was Baby Slice was the opener against Devin Brock. Right. I definitely had Devin Brock going into that, but kind of because I've been fading Baby Slice. It worked real good for me in his first fight. But he looked real okay in this one. He came out threw some bombs and then ended up catching an RNC, which I would never have bet on.
Yeah, I remember just even on the MMA community, and my apologies for being at work and being an idiot and not submitting my picks for the UFC card.
That's all right,
totally
dude.
Missed my picks.
There's a bunch of cards, and everyone does it eventually. So.
I'll make up for it. But I remember I was actually tempted to do Baby Slice via submission because I remember that he attempted a lot of anacondas in his other two his other two fights at the moment. Yeah,
he attempted a lot of them, but none of them looked fantastic, really, from what I remembered. But in this one, he sat dude down with a 3-2. He just banged him with a 2 right behind the ear. It was almost.
Wait, he beat this guy 34 seconds into the first?
Yeah, basically what happened, they had a couple wild exchanges where they're both just winging shit, and then Baby Slice hits lead. I'm pretty sure he's orthodox. Anyway, he hits a lead hook with a right down the pipe. Well, actually not right down the pipe, like kind of Baby Slice version of down the pipe, which he wings it and catches the dude right behind the ear as he's turning. Dude turns over and kind of flattens and jumps on him for the RNC, which weird, but totally got the win. Looked totally okay. Went for some takedowns. He looked good.
Nice, yeah, good for Baby Slice.
Speaking of looking good, Logan Storley, Jesus Christ. Logan Storley straight ran shop on a dude.
I was going to say, I've never seen this kid fight, but just looking at his Tapology picture here, he looks like quite the wrestler, very intense.
That pretty much sums up this fight. He absolutely had top control the entire time. I mean, there was maybe 30 seconds of this fight that took place on the feet. Yeah, that's not true. Maybe like 45 to a minute.
Did he just? I was gonna say, did he just outmatch Buckley, or was there like no chance for Buckley on the feet? It was just kind of just too much.
Logan Storley's just such a beast wrestler. He doesn't really. He just kind of Ben Askren's dudes with a little bit less ground and
Gotcha.
pound. Like he's closer to Ben Askren than Habib, but he's also like he's not smashing dudes like Askren where. Logan Storley was just happy to constantly outwork dude in scrambles and just keep banging him with elbows and punches. I mean, dude, Joaquin Buckley worked his ass off up against the fence. Was constantly trying to get back to his feet and just could never do it. He just kept getting drowned by Storley in a super, super dominant decision. I think it was like 30-26 or something like that on two judges' scorecards, which could have maybe been 30-25 on some of them. He was just completely dominant from top. So keep an eye on that dude because he has just been beasting on guys. AJ McKee and Justin Lawrence was one hell of a fight, and Justin Lawrence was rocking the most powerful mullet. I always forget he has a mullet now.
I remember when you had it on your TV, I was like, "Is that Mike Pyle?" I don't know if that's Justin Lawrence from Alliance.
Yeah, he straight up looks like Mike Pyle.
Yep.
But that fight was solid. It was pretty scrappy. Most of it took place on the feet. AJ McKee kickboxing from the outside, and Justin Lawrence. I would say actually, well, it depends on when in the fight it was. AJ pressured a lot early, and then Justin Lawrence kind of started to take over while AJ wanted to play that outside kicking game a bit and just hit him with like weird body kicks and fucking hand plant head kicks and weird shit like that because he's AJ McKee. And then Justin Lawrence, I think, fucked up his foot in the, was it the second or the third? He, like, rolled his ankle pretty fucking bad. But he was able to recover. Let me pull my notes up. Yeah, he rolled his ankle. It was, you know what? It was a slip is what it was in the second. His left leg. His heel slipped out just a bit, and he kind of torqued his shit and was walking a little weird. Plus, he's getting banged with some decent low kicks.
I was gonna say, did he pull a Tony Ferguson and slip on a logo?
No, it's worse than that because I think something was up with the mat tonight. Because Michael Chandler had a similar problem where he slipped.
Well, yeah, I was
in a
gonna say,
weird
speaking
way.
of ankle rolls, that we were both kind of like, oh shit, not again.
Yeah,
And, like,
the
very
match
first
seemed
round.
kind of weird on this card. But overall, it was fun. I mean, it was a bunch of decisions aside from Baby Slice, but they were fun ones. Oh, actually, that's not true. I forgot about Michael Chandler straight.
Yeah, that was
a
impressive.
weird fight, though.
Yeah, because Gertz was throwing a shitload of volume and clipping Chandler pretty hard. And he once he did that that arm triangle in general when he had him up against the fence was really impressive work, especially when he kind of repositioned his hips and kind of, I can't remember what angle it was. I remember
It
they
was
talked
weird.
when you dipped,
So
you dipped your head down and so you can get like that extra leverage.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
it's
to
so he
sink it
can go
in.
like, I think it's so he can almost go like palm to palm.
Yep.
Because when he put his hips on the right side, he got the choke with his left arm, I think it was, brought it underneath the neck, and then
He
reached with
started
his
that
right.
from Crucifix, too, which was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh shit, crucifix, and then
Yeah.
he totally just changes his mind.
That was a really weird fight. In the first minute of that fight, there was Michael Chandler fucking up his leg, and then almost immediately after getting eye poked and getting time off. And then I think there was like a nut shot after that too. It was just a weird fight, but yeah, eventually Michael Chandler was able to back him up against Cage, snatch a double leg, dump him, and scramble into Crucifix, and then from there he hit the arm triangle, which he hit it against the cage in a way that is sometimes tricky, but he was able to slide that in and get that finish. Put the dude completely out. Put Brandon Gertz completely out.
Yeah,
And the
me
ref
you
was a
both-
little slow
Yeah.
on that stoppage.
I was gonna say, me and you both. He could have been stopped at 10. He did earlier, but
Well, we were both yelling at the screen like, "Yo, he's out! He's out! He's out! He's out!"
I think you could even almost say he see Chandler kind of mouth like he's out.
Chandler's yelling it at him, and then before the ref stops it, he just gets up and walks away.
Yeah, he did start getting up.
Yeah, it was not the best performance ever by that ref. I want to say it was Kevin McDonald, but I might be wrong on that. So I don't want to necessarily throw shade at dude if that wasn't him. But it was a weird finish, but a fun fight. But a weird fight. It was Bellator. It was kind of just how Bellator goes. But overall, fun card though for the main card that I watched anyway, and it should not have gotten that lower ratings.
Yeah, kind of.
Some decent names too.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Like you said, Bellator's been kind of strange. Like even if the card is good, there's always some weird anomaly going on.
Yep.
Whether it's subliminal or not, who knows? It's yeah. Tape delay. That's all you have to say.
Yeah, exactly. If Bellator gave a fuck, they wouldn't be on tape delay. Cool. Well, we will go ahead and segue into. I didn't get a chance to watch much of KSW, unfortunately, since I was not after that long ass recording we did the night before and being up editing until 3 in the morning. I definitely was not going to watch KSW at 10 a.m. or whatever that came on. But I heard that card was good, and I do plan on going back and watching it because there was some cool shit there. And why don't we jump into UFC on Fox 29? Oh, but you know what? Speaking of our main show, The Sound of Violence, our regular one where we break down MMA podcasts. Today, did you see it was on Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, Alexander Gustafsson, a.k.a. Gus Davidson.
Yup, which is dope as hell, so we'll probably cover that this week.
Yeah, I have yet to listen to that, but I was reading the comments on Reddit. They said it was fantastic. They said top 5 for sure as far as his MMA show.
Yeah, and it's a short one, too. I think it's only an hour and a half or so I'm definitely going to check that out. And then, who has a new podcast with TJ DeSantis?
I know which fighter has a new podcast.
Yep.
Raging Al?
Mr. Al Iaquinta, the real one, not the real estate dude, Aaron.
Yep. It's called, isn't it called Call Me Al? Or
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking that out.
Yeah, that's, spoiler alert, that's going to be my new show for this week, along with, God, I should probably do Dan Tom's show finally. I keep meaning to. So I'll look for those. Hopefully I'll stick to that, unless some new show drops. Ah, shit, I already said I'm going to do the G word with Rose Gracie. So, Dan Tom, sorry, bro, you're pushed another week. But you're on the list. I'll get to it. Anyway, this is not that show. So why don't we jump into our UFC on Fox 29 breakdown of this card, or recap, or whatever the fuck we're calling these. This was fun as hell, man.
Yeah, I like this that we're doing this. It saves us a little bit of time, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Our
saves me time on editing,
well,
at least.
Not a little bit of time, a lot of time, really. It usually takes us about 45 minutes, depending on the pacing. It depends how much we we really give as far as our input. What we predicted, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, plus an extra break and all the extra editing. Like, yeah, I think this is a good call. But this card on Saturday was fantastic. The early start never hurts these cards either. I think the prelims started at 12:30, which was awesome.
Yeah, because I mentioned, I think it was DC or Cruz. They talked about the 12:30 time might affect some of the fighters.
Possible, but it didn't seem to.
Yeah, I could see it could maybe affect someone if they're used to fighting earlier or later, because 12:30 could kind of maybe mess up someone's sleep cycle, or because I know everyone's got their own routine.
Yeah, I don't know. Arjan Bular is the only one on the prelims that looked weird in these fights. Most of the rest of everybody came out kind of on fire. It seems like.
Yeah. Speaking of on fire, how about that first fight on Fight Pass? Luke Sanders. Is it Sanders or Saunders? I swear.
Saunders. I'm pretty sure.
There's a U in there, right?
Luke
I swear to God, who knows?
I don't think there's. Wait, no. Now Ben Saunders is fucking me up. Is it Luke Sanders or Saunders?
Dude, I don't even know.
How did we pronounce it last week? Because that's the way you pronounce it. Luke Sanders. I think it's Sanders.
Whatever. I'm going how it's spelled here.
I'll go with Luke.
I'm just going to call him Tennessee Luke. I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah.
He's from Nashville.
Call him Luke Ziggler. You see Dolph Ziggler and what's her face in the fucking crowd? Evidently he's dating, I don't know, some fucking WWE diva.
Oh, some redheaded chick I saw in the crowd. I was watching this on Fight Pass.
Yeah. Real goofy. Anyway, evidently he used to be a pro BMX rider too.
Yeah. DC was like saying that he's like, oh, Dom, I bet you like that because Dom's into like riding ATVs and shit like that. Polaris is. And all like the BMX stuff. So.
Well, plus he's from San Diego, so you know he has a bike. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're all about that brap, especially in East County.
Yeah, dog, gotta be, brah.
So.
Fucking how else am I gonna drive my lifted truck with this hat brim so high up?
Yeah, and shouts out to I mentioned this before, and shouts out to them in a good way because they helped us break down a lot of the fights. Half the fight.
Oh, half the fight. That's right.
The shouts out to you saying Patrick Williams might be one of the worst fighters on the roster because I don't see where you're coming with that. He looked okay to me.
He looked okay.
He was taking a lot of damage early.
Well, we'll get to the person later who I think might be one of the worst fighters at heavyweight.
Yeah. But, yeah, Williams, the main concern is when he had that big gash in, like, the middle of his, basically above his eyebrow, I was kind of concerned about doctor stoppage if Sanders would have kept targeting that.
Well, and he was gassing pretty hard towards the end of the first round.
Yeah, these guys
Luke Sanders was landing bombs.
Yeah, these guys are both. I'd say it was a unanimous. Did they give it 30-27 to Sanders?
I believe so. That's how I had it. I could have gone, or maybe, was this one that I gave 30-26? Let me look at my notes.
Because I know Williams had a very strong finish in the third round. Obviously not enough. Maybe to... Nah, I don't even know if it doesn't to steal that round.
Yeah, I almost gave the first round to Luke 10-8 because he was just swarming the shit out of Williams, and Williams was kind of panicking. I think he dropped him twice with, I think it was a 3-2 and then in a flurry. But yeah, he dinged him up. I think it was a 30-27. I could see that first round being a 10-8 almost, depending on how they're scoring. But Luke Saunders looked really good. I see I went with Saunders, so I think that might be how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I think it is Saunders.
If we're fucking it up one way or the other, since we've said both 1,800 times now.
Just you know what, if anything, just go with the nickname. Cool Hand Luke looked pretty good.
100%. Cool Hand looked as good as his nickname suggests.
Yeah. What do you think of this second fight? I absolutely love this, and
super scrappy.
I remember we kind of were 50-50 on who to pick. We just kind of went both ways.
Understandably.
I went with Perez, and once I saw Lopez kind of just take his back multiple times, I noticed Perez was good at fighting the hands.
Yeah, he had a couple close attempts, though.
But it was, goddamn, it was just in that second round, though, just that fucking flurry and just kind of like second wind. That kind of even caught me by surprise.
Absolutely. And he started really dinging up Lopez on the feet towards the end of the second and in the third. Wait, did this only went 2, right?
Yeah, this one
I was going to say. No, there were so many scrambles. It was wild. But, in the second, into the first and in the second, Because Alejandro Perez started eventually to land after all, like, Matthew Lopez was winning a lot of the scrambles, but in wild-ass ways.
And I remember I was questioning, where did I hear this guy trains out of? I think they mentioned Denver, so I think it was Elevation, because I'm pretty sure it's not 303 with Trevor Whitman.
I mix up every one of the Denver camps constantly.
But I'm trying to remember who's at Elevation now. Is Matt Brown?
Brown, Rose.
Well, TJ Dillashaw is basically his own private camp in Denver. It's weird.
TJ's doing like his own. He's flying.
He's basically just a nomad at this point. He's just a nomad fighter because he also trains very heavily with Jason Perillo at Ruka.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's down in LA a lot.
In Costa Mesa, that area, OC,
right.
whatever you want to call it.
It's all LA to me. If it's north of San Diego, it's LA,
yeah,
bro.
Right.
We don't talk about the OC.
Yeah, touche.
Yeah, it goes. Goes Huntington Beach, San Diego, Huntington Beach, LA.
There you go.
Is Huntington Beach below LA or above LA? I'm so fucking bad at geography.
It's below it for sure.
Nailed it.
Because that's like, I think it's like right below. It's like when you get into Newport, which gets basically into LA.
Ugh.
And then I think above LA is.
Let's not talk about Newport.
Yeah.
Let's just not.
Hey, but your boy El Kakui's from Newport.
Oh God! Don't remind me. My trash ex-girlfriend was from Newport too. Just awful. Super hot, but super awful. Anyway, we're way off topic. Alejandro Perez got the TKO in the second in a wild exchange. Lopez is so goddamn tough, dude.
Yeah,
Alejandro Perez is landed like 15 to 30 punches in flurries at the end of that.
Even when Lopez had that fight against Rafael Assunção, he was standing and banging with Assunção.
Absolutely, and got clipped. Yeah, got clipped late, but he had moments in that one too. And Rafael Assunção has been looking like a beast. So super impressive performance by Alejandro Perez to weather the storm early and come back and get that finish.
And then, speaking of, I think you're alluding to this.
Oh
as far
God,
as,
do we have to speak about this?
Okay, I'll just
heavyweight?
This is literally.
This is the most heavyweight MMA
congrats
fight ever.
to the Polish guy Adam. I don't know how the fuck to say her name.
I believe it's
Wieczorek. It's like Wieczorek or
I think
something.
I think it's
Wieczorek. Dude, like they three of them said it differently. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yep.
It's definitely not Wieczorek. That is way wrong.
Right. It's definitely not whatever DC said.
Yeah. I think it's Wieczorek.
I think it's
Wieczorek with the V.
It's a V, yeah.
Wieczorek. Or Wieczorek. I think it's Wieczorek. Adam Wieczorek? Yeah, I think it's Wieczorek.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. We don't know. It's Adam.
I'm no John Anik.
I'm just going to call him Adam. Polish Adam.
I'm going to call him Adam Omo.
Yeah, Adam Omo. I'm also used fucking Joey Diaz calling him a Momo.
Right. Well, he did hit that omoplata in a fucking heavyweight fight.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Bular's fucking rotator, his rotator, his shoulder looks
Shouts
like
out to whatever noise is happening in the background.
Yeah, shouts out to Trevor.
Oh yeah, former guest of the show, Trevor.
Yeah. Yeah, Trevor says hi everyone. He didn't see this fight. But, Bular, his shoulder almost fucking exploded from that omoplata from Adam Wieczorek. God damn it, I'm gonna fuck up his name every time.
Adam Omo, bro.
Adam Omo, like you're saying. But, what did you think, though, of Bular's top control? I mean, we kind of expected it from his wrestling pedigree.
I expected him, number one, to try passing the guard.
But, yeah, that's right. So I was like, not passing guard.
And Luke Thomas brought it in his Monday Morning Analyst, or maybe it was the post-fight show. Trevor's probably grabbing a pretty good beer right now, you guys. I'm pretty sure.
I think
so. He's grabbing multiple good beers, evidently. So Arjan Bular was doing zero posting on his toes. Jesus Christ! All right, now that Trevor's done grabbing 8,000 beers and a bag of cellophane out of the fridge, we will keep moving on. But Arjan Bular did zero posting on his feet from guard, so he had no real pressure or forward movement. I don't know. I'm terrible at describing this. If you go watch Luke Thomas's breakdown of it, but essentially, because he had the tops of his feet flat on the ground, he had nothing to post off of. So all of his ground and pound was just kind of all weird arm punches, and he was not making any attempts to pass guard. And he did that for basically a round. He did okay on the feet, actually, against Adam Omo. He, like, totally held his own on the feet. Was actually doing better than Adam on the feet. And then...
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I don't know if he had, like, a reach advantage, or is the way he was kind of, what his stance was. But,
I think it's just because Adam Omo is pretty hittable on the feet. Like, tall dudes like that generally seem pretty hittable in that division.
Well,
especially Polish dudes with not
what was
great
funny
wrestling.
too is when I was watching these fights, I was actually hanging out with my buddy Jordan in North Park. We were hitting up.
We need to get on the show one of these days because he's great.
We were hitting up Mike Hess and then that old
Mike
record
Hess
store.
dope.
What's up? Sorry, I cut out or something.
Mike Hess is dope.
Yeah, he had never actually been to Mike Hess, even though he fucking lives in North Park, which is crazy.
Oh, shit.
And we went to Red Brontosaurus and checked out where they have all the old school video games.
Nice.
And I found the original Battlefront 2, because that's now on Xbox One.
Oh, there you go.
They're backwards compatible, because who wants to play the new Battlefront 2? Because I never will. Anyways, that's not the point. His point was he thought Adam Omo just kind of, he's like, what's up with some of these heavyweight fighters looking like they're not really in fighting shape? And I was like, that's the thing, though. You don't really have to be toned. It's just fighting shape.
To be fair, Arjan Bular is the same look.
Pretty much. He's a beefy guy. He's got the wrestler build.
Yeah, rather than the weird Polish heavyweight build.
Yeah, exactly.
The Polish heavyweight off the juice build, as opposed to everyone KSW who's swollen looking.
I was going to say Blachowicz, or as we like to call him, BJ Blazkowicz, but he's a light heavyweight.
True. I forgot about that. So anyway, we'll keep moving on. Arjan Bular, essentially had top control from what I remember most the first, and in the second, basically let himself get omoplated and did not fight any of it.
Yeah.
He seemed real confused. I mean, it was a weird angle, to be fair to him. But
I could tell Adam Omo, all of his weight was like basically he was like resting his, like, I don't know if it was just his thighs or his butt. Cause I can't remember what angle he had, but all I know is like that dude's weight was crashing down on that fucking like shoulder. Like,
once he hit that omoplata, it was in. But Arjan Bular did nothing to stop the setup of the omoplata, which was concerning for me. Because he did all right at like just kind of framing out of some of the triangle and armbar stuff. Adam was like starting to maybe throw up, but as soon as he went to try to get the leg, throw a leg over the shoulder, Arjan Bular, as far as I can tell, kind of just stopped doing anything and panicked. I don't know. It's heavyweight MMA, and this was a great example of it.
Yep. Speaking of this next fight, I'll say about this. Yeah. This fight was very disappointing and tough to watch. But if you think about it, Diego Lima was very outsized.
Well, and how else was this going to go?
And wasn't this Okami? Okami's always been a middleweight, right? And he's going down in weight.
Yeah, he kind of floats around. He fought at 205. He's fought at 185. He's fought at 170.
I really don't have too much to say about this man because it was just 3 rounds of the same thing.
Yeah. If you've seen a Yushin Okami fight and you know he won this fight, you know exactly what this looked like. There's really, I don't have much else to say about that. Other than, I wish the Lima brothers would do stuff off their back more and not just play guard constantly. Because it's the exact... A lot of this fight was the same reason that... God damn it, why can't I remember Diego's brother's name? Douglas. I knew it started with a D. It always fucks me up. Douglas played that 5th round in the Rory fight all on his back, and it's what lost him the fight. And Diego has not as demonstrated. He hasn't demonstrated as good a wrestling defense as his brother has, and this was another example of that. Yushin just kind of overpowered him the entire time.
Yep, and we'll see where Lima goes from here. I don't know if he's gonna get cut.
Who knows? In that division, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, he's on a couple fight skid after a comeback, right? On the Ultimate Fighter 29,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 25.
5, because 26 starts.
27 starts. I think tomorrow actually 27.
Is it Tuesdays that show is on or Thursdays?
Wednesdays.
Yeah, so
Wednesdays.
it's this Wednesday. So hey, maybe we'll talk about that.
It should be legitimately great. So I'll try to catch it as well.
I'm kind of excited. I haven't really looked at it at all, but I know there's some names on there.
I'm actually going in blind. I don't want to look at the roster. I want to know who it is.
That's how I prefer doing these shows because they do really good like that intro episode. They all generally do pretty good backstory on everybody.
Yeah. This next fight was very competitive at the end.
Fantastic.
It was competitive all around, but very competitive at the end. Lauren Mueller from Alliance, also known for most people probably saw her from Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series.
Yep, Princess Tiger. Shouts out with Angie Hill in her corner.
Yep, I saw that. She looks stoked. How do you think Cruz did in the commentary? He didn't seem biased, really, right?
He was intentionally trying not to.
Not to
be,
but yeah.
Like he did a good job for, for her being someone that he's worked with a decent amount in that camp.
Yeah, because I remember. Who was it? DC had a teammate too.
It might have been Arjan. Right? It was Arjan, or is it? Pretty sure it was Arjan.
God damn it! Who was it?
Pretty sure it was Arjan Bular.
It might have been Arjan. Yeah.
I'm pretty positive.
Yeah,
because I mean they love top heavy wrestlers in AKA. However, Arjan Bular did not do his camp in AKA. He did it up in Canada.
All right.
So
what did you think of? I thought this fight was good. I like Shauna Dobson's. I like her feints and kind of like her stance changing.
She looked so much better in this fight than she ever has before.
Did on Tough, yeah.
Like the difference between this fight, what she showed in the Ultimate Fighter, to the fight she had against Ariel Beck, to this fight is absolutely insane. Her improvements that she's made. Her takedown defense has gotten so much better. She's not throwing everything as a giant, like, looping overhand. She's starting to tighten up a lot of her shots. She looks really good. And Laura Mueller, you can tell this girl spars with Angie Hill and Chris Stanley.
Well, dude, especially with those winging shots, too.
Like,
it wasn't even necessarily like hooks. They almost kind of looked like overhand hooks. It was weird.
Yeah.
But she was clipping Dobson at the end of first and second round pretty hard. I think it was the second round.
And super
I think
good
it
at
looked
getting
like she almost broke her nose. Maybe that was the third round.
Yeah, and she was super good at getting her head just offline enough to slip something and still come back with power. I'm convinced. I haven't seen a report or anything. I was talking about this in the MMA community live discussion thread. I'm pretty convinced Laura Mueller broke her hand in the first round. She hit a weird shot against Shayna's elbow when digging to the body, or I think it was to the body. Maybe it was a shot that like glanced off her elbow in a flurry. But the entire rest of the fight, and this was like maybe 3 or 4 minutes in, when Laura was looking real sharp. The rest of the fight, anytime she threw her right hand or anytime her right hand touched anything, you could see her like move it and adjust it. And it just kept getting more and more obvious. She stopped throwing it for a good couple minutes, and then eventually she just started winging the shit out of it. I think she probably broke it. I'm not positive, though, but it really seemed like it at the time. And if she did, holy shit, what a performance on it. She definitely took that first round clearly.
Yeah, I thought so, too. The second round...
Much closer.
Closer.
I've heard people give it both ways. I had Mueller, but number one, I'm super biased.
I think I gave the second to Dobson and then the third to Mueller based on how she finished after she busted Dobson's nose. I don't think you can give
can you? Well, it's hard because Dobson.
I can't remember.
Hurt her so bad to the body at the end of the third.
Oh yeah, because that's what it is. She was targeting the body.
Yeah, I think you're mixing it. I think you probably give the second to Lauren and the third to Dobson.
Yeah, the third to Dobson. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Because and I've seen a lot of people give Dobson the second. I could see that too. That second round was really close. Third round, Mueller did good for the first 3 to 4 minutes of it.
That's where she had busted her nose.
Yeah, and then at the very end of the round, she got slammed with a couple hard body shots, and she had eaten some decent body kicks earlier in the fight too.
And those knees in a clinch.
Yep. Shayna Dobson's really changed her game tremendously in the last couple of months. I'm excited to see both of them going forward. I think they're both going to be legit. Once they start getting their feet wet, and is that an expression?
Yeah, no.
It sounded weird when I said it.
No, that's 100%. That's exactly
once
what
they
it is.
once they start once they're not as green in this division and get some fights under their belt, I think they're both chicks to look out for in the future, considering how much they're progressing in their career over the last couple fights.
Yep, I agree 100%. It's gonna be. I think that flyweight division is gonna be more exciting than people anticipate.
People shit on the flyweight division, but I have a feeling it's going to get legit. I also recently had a feeling, I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, I think the 115 division is about to turn on fucking fire when you look at that. Especially now that Rose is on top and not JJ. You have girls like Claudia and a bunch of these young up-and-comers coming through the ranks, too.
I mean, I think Rose will stay on top for a while, but if she does get dethroned, I can see a lot of flip-flopping.
Well, and even if she doesn't, all those top girls, like there's a lot of young ones coming up through the ranks that are going to be interesting. Man, I just think that division's going to be fun. I wish they would put them in smaller cages more often, though. I think that would be huge. Like, if they were in a WEC size cage, that smaller cage, I think they would be mopping the floor with each other. Because they're so goddamn aggressive. But if you give them a little bit of room, it really it changes that up a bit. So, anyway, off topic. But also, we'll get to it this weekend. But everybody get ready to get real tired of hearing about the name Andrea KGB Lee after this weekend. Because people are finally going to figure out who she is and lose their goddamn minds.
You're going to love it. And I think Dana's going to love it.
We'll see. For sure. Everyone I don't know why people don't realize that she is a smoke show who is very nice and has a southern drawl and is real likable. Like, that girl is... Everybody's going to start losing their shit. Anyway, we're not talking about that this show. We're going to keep moving on. Gilbert Burns and Dan Moret. I think it's Moret. Is it Moret or Moret?
I think it was... I don't know. I think it was Moret. I remember I chose him for no god... I chose him for no fucking reason. That was hilarious. I remember, I was literally just like, we'll do it live. Fuck it. Just Bill O'Reilly style. And then, of course, Bill O'Reilly style, he gets sent to the Shadow Realm. Yeah.
That was super nasty. And a night with a couple nasty knockouts, that one was bad. Like, he got clipped with that right hand. So he did okay. There was some, back and forth in the first round. Gilbert Burns was definitely getting the better of the exchanges. But there was some back and forth. He landed some good shots. He had a flurry where he had Gilbert backing up and a little bit rocked.
Yeah.
And then in that second, Gilbert Burns just smashes homie. And, dude crumples in, I believe it was off a scrambling exchange. And Gilbert Burns bangs I want to say it was a right hand off a kick, but maybe that was one of the later fights. There was 2 or 3 knockdowns or rocking people.
No, I think he went left low hook to the ribs, and then
you're right, came over the top. Yeah.
And then he came on top of the right because I know Moret, he was kind of flailing his arms in front as some sort of last second guard.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Salyakov one is the one. Or no, you know what? It was Brad Tavares who hit it off the leg kick.
I was gonna say
and Justin Gaethje, Poirier.
I was going to say, but yeah, good win for Burns. I don't know where he's at the 155 in that weight class.
That definitely puts him back into contention in a big way. He called out OAM, I think, right?
I actually didn't hear...
I want to say he called out OAM because they were supposed to fight, and Gilbert Burns got pulled from that card in Florida that one that Mike Perry was on, I believe. But the UFC pulled him because he came in too heavy. I don't know if you remember this story.
Oh, yes, I do.
So they were supposed to fight then, and then OAM has that big knockout last weekend. Gilbert Burns has one this weekend, and Gilbert Burns gets on the mic and is like, OAM, I think we need to make this fight happen, which I think would be fun as hell.
It's a fun matchup. OAM's number 15 now, too.
Yeah. And Gilbert Burns, when you're knocking dudes out in a way that they go down and knock themselves out again on their own knee on the way down, shit is rough. A lot. Everyone kept comparing it to that Tommy Spears, Anthony Johnson knockout. Almost called him Anthony Joshua 4 times right there.
Well, he hits hard, so pretty close.
Well, and they both crumpled almost exactly the same way. People are posting GIFs of them side by side. It's pretty rough.
I thought you were gonna say people are fucking photoshopping or making the GIF where he's a fucking folding chair or some shit, or lawn chair folding away.
I mean, there was a lot of those comments for sure. That one was oof. Speaking of rough knockouts, another rough knockout up next. Brad Tavares, first knockout since 2011.
Yeah, one that I unfortunately missed. I missed this one and the. Oh, dude, duh, because yeah, I watched the Fight Pass and then the main card. I fucking accidentally missed the Fox card. Yeah, or was it FS1? No, that's on pay-per-view. This is the regular prelims, I should say. So
Right.
how did this go? How did Brad Tavares look to you? Because I know he's got that one-punch knockout power, but like you said, it's been since when? 2011?
Yeah, I think his last one was 2011 against
Jesus.
somebody that should not have been fighting in 2011. I don't remember who it was. Yeah, he looked good. The first 2.5 rounds or whatever, they both looked okay. They both looked kind of how they look. Brad Tavares real sound defensively, or I should say pretty sound defensively. Krzysztof Jotko just doing Krzysztof Jotko things, but Krzysztof Jotko started out this fight really slow. I gotta imagine a lot of that is because of his Uriah Hall fight that he just had,
I was
where
gonna say,
he came out on fire and gassed so hard and then got knocked out. So it seemed like he did almost nothing in the first round. He was basically just point fighting, but with not a lot of activity. Definitely lost that first, and then in the second he started picking up a little bit. Was definitely winning some exchanges. I honestly, it was pretty close second round, and then in the third they're both landing a decent amount, and Brad Tavares just eventually starts really throwing hard counters every time Jotko throws a leg kick, and I believe it was, I want to say it was this one, because there was like 2 or 3 different knockouts on this card that came from someone winging a hook at a 2 or a hook and a straight when someone throws a leg kick. I think this was one of them, if I remember right. But good win, but from Brad Tavares, it puts him in a weird place in the division because that's a weird division. So, but I feel like 85 is pretty open. Like nobody, apart from the top 3 or 4 dudes, it's kind of just open to anyone who shows up.
Yeah, because I feel like even Rockhold's kind of just escorting his way out and just kind of just wanting to just go up to 205.
Right.
So yeah, more vacancies.
Yeah, should be interesting, man.
This one I didn't catch. I did catch the next one after this, but what I heard...
This fight was awesome.
I shouldn't say I heard, or I read on Reddit that this was a grappling match that was very fun to watch.
Super fun. This was just basically a giant scramble fest. They were both doing okay on the feet. Wilson Hayes was getting caught a little bit, but nothing crazy. Actually, to be fair, John Moraga looked fucking awesome on the feet in the first, minute or 2 of this. Nah, probably more than that. Probably first half a round to 3/4 of a round. And then Wilson Hayes just started getting tired of it and constantly throwing grappling exchanges at him. Just working to the clinch and hitting a lot of awkward trips and stuff like that. Especially putting him against the cage a lot. And from there, it was just everyone scrambling everywhere all the time. It was a lot of fun. I agree that I think John Moraga got it 29-28. But Wilson Hayes had some moments there for sure. And it was just a fun back and forth match. I like both these dudes. John Moraga looked real good on the feet early, though, which was kind of surprising how slick he was looking on the feet. So it'll be interesting to see where that puts him in that division, because that's another division that's kind of weird.
Yeah, shit. DJ's, well, we don't really see anyone beating him.
And
unless Cejudo. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Cejudo's a beast, man. He's been looking good.
I'm looking forward to that rematch. That should be fucking sick.
For sure.
I can't remember what card they added that on, but
I'm terrible with that stuff.
It might be July 7, actually. 226 they're targeting.
Oh, I would guess it's probably not 226. I would guess it's one of the surrounding cards.
Oh yeah, probably the week after, before 227. One of the ones that are at the end of July.
Yeah.
Or the end of July card. Yeah, that makes more sense actually.
Because I feel like 28th. They don't want to give
the 28th, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like they're not trying to put DJ on a big card, just based on how they treat him.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, for real. This Muslim Saliakov fight.
I saw the ending to this.
What's his name? The king of something, Sambo, king of What's his fucking nickname? King of Kung Fu. That's what it is. Yeah,
that's great.
So good. He fought Ricky Rainey, who's well known in a lot of the regional scenes.
Yeah, I remember I picked Rainey based on the hype from some of the podcasts. A lot of people, they kept throwing his name out there.
People were definitely.
But then I was
Rainey.
like, when you picked Salikov, I'm like, oh wait, this dude's from Dagestan. So, yeah.
Did I pick Salikov? Because I have Rainey in our notes. I think I might have picked Rainey. I think you might have talked me into Rainey. I don't remember. I don't remember because that show was 9,000 hours long. So.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
guys, pro tip: when our show is 3 hours long, watch them in 3 days. Just kidding. Watch it however you want. Or not watch it. Listen to it however you want.
Also, when our show is 3 hours long, 100%, probably buzzed by the end of it. Also, apologies to Chuck Zito. You're not a narc, bro. I mixed you up with George. I'll pull his name up. Judo Bill. Shouts out to Judo Bill, who sent me a message on Monday or yesterday, I think it was. And Saturday actually during the fights. He sends me a message and he's like, "Bro," the message just says the title is Chuck Zito. It just says, "Is not a narc. R.I.P. Bro. I'll pray for you."
Oh,
yeah, that's a good call. George Christie is who I was thinking of, who was the spokesman of sorts for Sonny Barger.
And he said R.I.P. Yeah, man, you gotta.
Right? No, well, to be fair, so Sonny Barger, I did on that episode mention the guy who has the voice box. That's Sonny Barger, and the spokesperson for Sonny Barger, who allegedly rolled on a bunch of people, is George Christie. Nope, not George Christie. That's a different one.
So, but all apologies to you, Chuck Zito.
That's
if
right.
you're listening to this, which I highly doubt. But if you somehow listen to someone tweet you saying "fuck the sound of violence," we sincerely apologize.
That's right.
For
being
calling you a
uneducated.
Not me. I'm throwing you under the bus.
Smart. That's smart. That's the way to do it. Sir, I promise. I'll. You can have some weed if you want. I promise. I don't think you're a narc.
Hey Zito, spare the Italian, kill the Polak. Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah, right, bro. I'm way whiter than you in the eyes of the Hells Angels. I don't know if you have that going for you. Anyway, we're off topic a little bit. But Muslim Salikov, fun fight, and ended up knocking out Ricky Rainey in the second round with a nasty shot. This is one of a handful of knockouts this was another one that looked almost, it was like the light version of Gilbert Burns' knockout.
Yeah, it was, because he kind of just did that old, hit him on the side of the temple, but behind the ear, kind of just slight, right?
Yeah, it was similar. It was actually kind of similar to the knockdown Baby Slice got in Bellator, where you just clip him behind the temple and dude straight pancaked out in a 180, and then turned over and ate two solid right hands and went out. So,
yeah, that was fucking brutal.
Yeah, nasty ground and pound from Salikov. So I'm excited to see that dude going forward. He does have a little bit of that ACB. I'm gonna stand here and throw fucking 10 to 15 strikes around that I'm just gonna like wing a fucking wild kick at you or some shit. And he's real patient, which I feel like ACB and a lot of the Dagestani fighters end up in that's one of the styles they produce, is just like a slow, methodical kickboxer with solid ground game and heavy ground and pound.
Yeah.
So, but one fight that was not about solid, slow kickboxing, Antonio Carlos Jr. versus Tim Boetsch was wild and sad.
I was impressed with Shoeface's kicks to the body and his distance striking.
He looked real good.
How much Boetsch can kind of end a fight, really, just with his dirty boxing and his does he throw the elbows from the clinch? I'm trying to remember, because I know he likes putting guys against the fence. Obviously, you can't do that to someone like Shoeface.
Yeah, I mean, mostly in this, he was just winging hooks and overhands. He winged that right overhand like a grip of times, and every time Shoeface kept slipping and banging him up with shots. Shoeface looked real good at the stand-up. Like, he won a lot of the stand-up exchanges, which I didn't expect.
So this fight basically looked like me versus you in UFC 3, and I'm obviously Tim Boach.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And then, dude, so this totally... I think Zane Simon was the one that called this best. Zane Simon and Conor Rebush on MMA Vivisection. But 100% Antonio Carlos Jr. had mad trouble taking Tim Boach down in the clinch over and over again until he hit a double leg against the fence and then just dumped Tim Boach on his goddamn head.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
I mean, Tim Boach is a giant fire hydrant, so trying to clinch wrestle that dude is not easy.
Yeah, former 205er, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, but as soon as Shoeface ducked under and grabbed that double, he literally just turned him over and dumped him, and then just stepped over and started beating the shit out of him, and got that RNC after Tim Boach was flattened out, and he rolled him and caught that shit deep. He did that classic fucking I'm good as fucking jiu-jitsu RNC where he's like, I'm just gonna throw it across the face and let you and just squeeze this shit under your neck, because he started off with it across the jaw and then just squoze down on that shit.
Yep, just basically forced its way back down across the neck.
Yep, super nasty finish, and that dude's looking real good as of late. He's been one of my sleepers on Magwar that's been making me a fuckload of points. That's on right. The fantasy league. Yep. So that dude's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. This next fight, did you see this one?
I did. I was very impressed with Michelle Waterson.
It was weird though, right?
Her ability it was weird, yeah. I thought her underhooks were great, even though she's very outsized.
She was tiny in comparison.
I think I picked Casey because of the size disparity.
Yes, we both had Casey by decision. Which yeah. I still kind of maybe agree with.
Was this really split? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, should it have been split? That was a weird...
I think it should. It should have gone to Casey, but I need to rewatch it. I didn't get a chance. This is one of the two fights I didn't get a chance to rewatch. Again. But watching it live, I had Casey for the first two, Watterson for the third. But Casey definitely won the first round.
Yeah. I remember that. Watterson usually kind of starts slow, too.
Yeah, and Casey was just literally muscling her around and banging her up with shots. It was a beatdown that first round. And Watterson started to kind of work. Well, actually, Watterson did get that takedown, I think, at the end of the first, right? And then she definitely started to work that game more and more. And Courtney Casey was real happy to play a bottom game, which I think could have cost her the fight. The problem is that second round, Michelle Waterson didn't really do much, whereas Courtney Casey threw up a ton of attempts.
Yeah, I do remember that. It's weird. It's kind of sucked that I kind of rushed myself watching these, because for those who are listening who don't know, I was at the Padres game on Saturday, and I got real trashed and didn't watch
like
the
a professional.
Like professional. The Padres won. I got trashed because they had a great come from behind victory over the Giants. I know you don't give a fuck unless you're a Giants fan and you're depressed because your team's supposed to be good, but they're worse than the Padres. So there's that. But that's enough me being a homer. So
that's right. Yeah. This fight was interesting. I still think you probably give it to Casey. A lot of people were arguing like, oh yeah, but Michelle Waterson avoided all those submission attempts, so really should score just for top control.
Yeah, but not if there's like inactivity though. I get if you're being defensive.
Well, and Jack Slack had some funny jokes about that on Twitter, talking about like, oh, so from now on we're not going to score punches because they're not knockout shots, so we're just going to call them knockout attempts. It's like, it's kind of good. It's a good joke. But yeah, I give it to Casey, but I could see it either way. That middle round was real close, and all those last two rounds were pretty close. And Michelle Waterson, tough as hell for sticking that one out, because she was getting lit up in that first round. Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Morning of, I actually did switch my pick to Adesanya. You guys can verify that on the MMA community forums if you want to go check that out and join in the picks. But man, I don't know who won this fight really.
Dude, this is I think I gave it to Adesanya watching it the first time, because he just had way more volume. Yes, Vettori was pressing forward more and eating a lot of shots and landing a couple, but I was going off of damage. And yes, Vettori did win that third round, I think.
For sure he won that third.
100%. I think I gave the first round clear to Adesanya. The second one is pretty close because Vettori did pretty... And Adesanya did stuff some takedowns in the second. It was weird because Vettori only took him down, like, I think once, and it was in the third round, but that's when it mattered.
Yeah.
I think I slightly give it to Adesanya. Split decision, I have no argument against. I could see how you think Vettori won that fight, I guess, based on just... It's weird. It's one of those... It was a close fight either way. The only real thing, as far as since Adesanya is a huge prospect who's very highly touted, has a very good kickboxing career, and, you know, Dana definitely wants him to succeed. He's definitely going to need to work on his ground... or on his back game. His takedown defense isn't as bad as you think it'd be for a kickboxer. I thought it was actually pretty good for a kickboxer. But yeah, he's going to need to work off of his back, because I remember Dominic Cruz and DC were both talking about how he just wasn't trying anything. Especially
and his guard was wide open. Like, he wasn't...
Yeah.
From half guard, he was just sitting there. Like, he wasn't locking down a leg. He wasn't trying to work. Like, eventually, I think he scrambled. Well, I say scrambled. He just tried to get back to guard once, and it worked. And then he was just a really open, weird guard. He did an okay job of trying to work his way back to his feet constantly, and he was okay at getting a takedown defense, especially against the cage. But yeah, his ground game is definitely there's giant holes.
How would you think he would do if they matched him up against Paulo Costa?
That's an interesting matchup.
Because
I haven't thought about that one.
Yeah.
I would like that. Because I think that's exactly the dude who could beat him. Martin Vittori's like right on the edge of that line. I think Paulo Costa I would probably favor in that fight because his grappling I think is too strong and his size. Yeah,
fucking huge.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. That's a good call.
Okay, so the co-main event, me and you. Well, I was a premature jackass, basically writing in Alex Oliveira before we previewed this fight last week, so
Not
apologies.
Wrong.
Apologies to Carlos Condit.
Not wrong.
It was a finish. Yeah, we both got the finish part right, that he was going to finish Condit.
Yep.
However, I was actually pleasantly surprised by Condit getting his back. Well, I wasn't surprised that he got his back. Maybe this kid was early, because I always thought Condit starts kind of slow, but then he does have. It was weird.
Yeah, Condit normally does start slow. It seemed, I think I heard on commentary, I want to say Dom or somebody said he intentionally tried to come out quicker in this one because he knows the quicker he comes out and pushes the pace, the quicker Oliveira's going to gas. And
Yes, yeah.
And it was starting, it was hard to, Oliveira definitely won that first round pretty decisively. He was banging him up with heavy shots. He hit a takedown, I believe, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe he hit a takedown in the first. I know it's for sure as fuck he hit a couple in the second. And yeah, he looked good, but it was one of those questions where you go, how long is Oliveira going to be able to keep this pace going? But yeah, he just kept the pace going. And Carlos Condit, it's the same problem that there's always been with Carlos Condit, is you can put him on his back, and he's happy to play from his back. And that's a terrible idea against a dude like Alex Oliveira who's just going to club and sub you.
Yeah, and that submission, dude. Good on Condit, though, for fucking just surviving through that. I feel like
guillotine.
A lot of refs would have called that, but I can't remember who the ref was, if it was Herb Dean, but he was mentioning down towards when Oliveira had him in the guillotine, and you could see Condit kind of put a thumbs up in his hand or kind of shake his hand like he's okay.
Yeah.
So clearly he must have said, I'm good, you know, when we couldn't tell if he was out.
It looked like he was out, yeah.
But clearly he was fine, because then you literally see him tap.
Yeah,
like
I was yelling
later.
at the TV. I was like, holy shit, he's out. He's still out. And then you see him move. I was like,
even
shit.
DC and Dom. DC's like, or Dom's like, he's out. And DC's like, no, he's not. And he's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely wild.
So,
But big win from Oliveira. Interesting to see where that puts him in this division, because he's coming off that loss to Cowboy, but as a win over Condit.
He had a loss to, actually, that Yancy Medeiros loss. That was one of the fights of the year last year. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shit, you're right. I always mix up him and Yancy. That's who. fucking Condit or a Cowboy has the win over. Or I guess he has a win over Cowboy a while back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I was thinking
Cerrone subbed him.
Yeah, that's I was thinking that, but yeah, you're right. The Oliveira Yancey fight was wild, and that was his last fight, right?
Yeah.
So, God, it puts that dude in a weird place in that division. Like,
I say you could give him outside top 15. But I don't even know if you could put him at number 15 right now because that's such a stacked division. I'd have to look at the rankings. I know the UFC rankings are so weird.
You want to hear something fucking depressing? You know what fight you give him?
Not off the top of my head, I can't.
You give him Matt Brown.
Oh.
I don't want that fight to happen, but that's.
I
think that's what they're gonna do.
Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's who was supposed to fight Carlos.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't want that, but I have a feeling that's where they're going. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
Yeah, because as of right now, number 15 in that welterweight division is Stun Gun. Yeah, then after that, Leon
holy
Edwards
shit, number 15 is Stun Gun?
Yeah.
Is Oliveira not ranked?
No.
Dude, Oliveira's Stun Gun would be great.
Yeah, do it.
Do that.
Fuck it.
That'd be fun as hell.
Or if Leon Edwards
When was
loses
the last time Stun Gun fucking fought?
Dude, I don't know. Didn't he fight Covington like a year and a half ago?
That's my point. How is he in the top 15? The fuck?
Yeah, dude. Right now, when I go to videos on Fight Pass on my phone, usually it shows the most recent fight. It says Colby Covington versus Jung Hyun Kim. What the fuck?
Weird.
Huh.
Well, yeah, the fucking rankings are broken. Shouts out New York. Great job using the rankings. Anyway, we'll keep moving on to the main event. The fight that, while Chris had an hour worth of audio issues that we finally got sorted out. Shouts out to Google Hangouts, thank Christ. Fucking Skype, you're a trash machine made by trash people. And your product is trash. You trash.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good news was, during that break of an hour, I got to watch Poirier versus Gaethje like 3 different times.
So, I'll just say this real quick. We've said this before. Even Justin Gaethje admitted this. Everyone says his style is not going to last him in fights. I'll say this. I thought... How did you score it before that 4th round?
I had...
Because I think Dom and DC were saying they had it even before that. It was weird because Gaethje had the 2 eye pokes.
Well, it couldn't be
Poirier,
even because there's 3. Oh, right, the eye poke.
That's why it's even.
Yeah. So I had 2 rounds for Dustin and 1 round as a draw.
Yeah, same with me. That's how I did it.
Yeah, because I think Justin only won that 3rd round, but it felt like he was starting to take over.
Oh yeah, let's say their last names because it sounds like Dustin and Justin.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Poirier and Gaethje. Gaethje I had in the 3rd, and then Poirier for the first 2.
That's exactly how I had it as well.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear too.
It's because DC like in the 4th round and good on Poirier, man, with that counter left that fucking clearly rocked Gaethje in the 4th round, which when he set up for the finish.
Yeah.
DC's like, oh, you're telling me you're NCAA All-American wrestler, but where's your instinct to grapple? But then Don's like, I think he was basically out already at that point because he was fucking just drunk legs, punch drunk.
Well, also Gaethje doesn't go for takedowns.
And this is the thing, dude. I think at this point, Gaethje, yes, he's 1-2 in the UFC, but he has 2 losses to fucking Eddie Alvarez, one of the greatest lightweights of all time, just in MMA, and Poirier, who's totally transformed his game since moving up to lightweight and going to Coconut Creek with ATT and Mike Brown.
Also, it should be noted, Dustin Poirier is from what city?
Lafayette.
Where is DC from?
Lafayette.
All right, then. I'm pretty sure we solved this mystery.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Justin Gaethje, man, you gotta start using your wrestling.
I agree, but I agree in what Jen said last week, and we played a clip of that. Jen Pulver said he needs to start using his clinch wrestling. He needs to start working, and he did great. Like, in that 3rd round when he was taking over, it's because he put Poirier up against the cage, had the heavy hand on the single collar, and was just beating him up to the body and head and throwing leg kicks. That's where that dude is best, and he just loves the wild exchanges is the problem.
And this is the thing. I don't know who they match Gaethje up against next, but I think it was Cruz who made the point. Look at 3 of Gaethje's fights in the UFC. 2 of them are main events. Like, think about that. That's how entertaining this dude is. So I think no matter what, he's gonna stay in the UFC roster for a while. I think
Absolutely,
what you do is you I know I hate looking at the goddamn rankings.
I mean, his nickname is the main event for a reason.
Or the highlight, but
God damn it! I knew it was wrong when I was saying
it's not
it.
that
But I was like,
easy,
it's
not
right
that
there.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever. Just in the
I just
main
wanna
highlight event, Gaethje.
I just want to think for a second, who do you match Gaethje up against? I mean,
you match Gaethje up against 8 months off is my suggestion.
Yeah, give him a time off.
I don't want to see that dude fight again this year. Unfortunately, I do, but I don't.
Him versus Raging Out could be kind of cool.
I would rather see
But I'd rather see him fight James Vick, so James Vick can get his top matchup, and then.
That's a shit matchup for Gaethje, though. That sucks.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah,
like James Vick is well.
I don't know.
The
actually,
leg
no,
kicks.
he kicked the fucking legs off of Vic though.
That's true.
That's Vic's bread and butter, dude. So it's fucking sidekicks and teeps.
What about Justin Gaethje versus Neil Magny? Boom, my blood.
Right.
I think he wins that fight actually.
He can go up and wait.
I think he actually would beat Neil Magny. Who's the bottom? Who's the 11 through 15 of 155 right now?
Vic 11, Pettis 12, Alexander Hernandez, that kid, the great, who had that gnarly knockout power. He's only 25,
right.
number 13. Paul Felder 14, OAM 15.
Ooh, Paul Felder would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
And
as far as Poirier goes, if I was the matchmaker, I would make him rematch Alvarez, mainly because Alvarez doesn't want that fight. But then the only problem is Alvarez has 1 fight left on his contract, so...
Yeah, well, better chance of them doing that than them giving Alvarez a title shot then.
Better chance of Poirier getting a title shot, right?
No, I'm saying Khabib's going to take time off for Ramadan regardless.
Well, yeah. Well, we all know that the next title fight's going to be in September, after Ramadan. But what do you think happens? Do you give the title shot to Poirier or Alvarez? Do you have them fight for a rematch?
I think they're probably going to have them fight for a rematch, and then
I think so too. And then if Alvarez wins, obviously restructure his contract, guarantee him that title shot. In the fall, you have to.
Because I think they're gonna do something weird and sketchy with Khabib. I don't know if it's gonna be Conor. I don't know if it's gonna be Nate Diaz. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think they're gonna do something fucking weird.
Yeah.
Because
by the way, I like Poirier. I almost like Poirier in that fight against Khabib, man. His fucking boxing was fantastic.
I like Poirier in that fight. I love Eddie Alvarez in that fight.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Alvarez is... Well, to be fair, though, I also picked fucking Ali Quinta over Khabib the day before while drunk. I did change that pick for official picks, but it's going to be a dude with really, really, really good wrestling.
Watch Khabib just fuck with everyone and actually fight like he usually does. Just mollywop someone. I mean...
100%. His next fight's he's not going to be standing on the feet. Yeah, I will put money on that. But the question is, can Eddie Alvarez shut down the takedowns and gas Khabib? Maybe. He has a better chance than anyone so far. And while Al didn't do great at shutting down the takedowns, Al didn't do terrible for someone with no camp. He still was able to work back to his feet pretty consistently. I don't know how much of that is Khabib just letting him do that to gas him out so he can take him down again, because that is something Khabib does. Shouts out to Thiago Alves, who got fucking mat returned 30 times.
Oh no, that was
Is it not Alves? Santos? Who was that?
Fuck. Abel Trujillo.
Was it Trujillo?
Yep.
It was one of those Brazilian dudes from Florida.
It was Trujillo, 100%. That dude mat returned 21. Holy fuck, that was annoying for him. Goddamn.
It was rough. So
I'd almost would just quit. I mean, I wouldn't, but I'd be like, can I take a break?
Yeah. Bro, really? We're still doing the same thing, huh? You're not gonna even try something else? Yeah. I'm excited to see Dustin Poirier and whatever he does next. That dude's on a crazy run right now. Especially when you consider that Eddie Alvarez fight, that he was winning the fuck out of most of it up until that weird end of it. I mean, he did get clipped before the weird illegal knee, but he also was beating the shit out of Eddie Alvarez. Also, pretty bad.
Shouts out to Poirier and how he hydrates and what he eats. I saw an older video when he was a featherweight.
Oh, just eating a couple pieces of lettuce and a grape.
No, not when he's cutting. When he's rehydrating.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Eating.
No, I meant back
Dude.
in the day. He used to fucking...
Yeah. But this dude literally feasts on, like, fucking candy and, like, soda and beer. That's what he says. And, like, Pop-Tarts. Because apparently he used to be, like, a fat kid. Like, in college and high school. Like, he was actually, like, very... He said he was very overweight. Like, by a lot. And he said he says, yeah, the fat kid in me just still loves all these sweets. So, he said, because I'm dieting, like, 9 months out of the year. So, I gotta have, you know, my cheat days.
Especially a featherweight, like Dean Thomas used to make fun of him for eating like a rabbit all the time. So he would have like a couple pieces of lettuce for lunch and shit like that. Where he's like, bro, you can't just survive on that shit. You need to work on whatever you're doing with this. This 145 shit is not working.
Yeah,
or
so
sorry,
like say,
maybe
his
it was
punches
one of the two of them.
on Saturday were definitely fueled by some M&Ms or something.
That's M&M's and beer. Hey, hard to argue with that.
Snicker packed punch, whatever you want to call it.
Oh man, well that was one hell of a fight. I'm excited for. It was just a fantastic card. And then what? Do you know anything about this weekend's card? I don't know much about it.
Dude, what is even? I'm guilty of just not paying attention to what's next.
We
I'm
got
so
Fight
sorry.
Night 128.
Oh no, dude, it's Kevin Lee. It's Atlantic City.
Oh shit!
Kevin
Lee
versus
Barboza, Swanson
great.
Edgar.
Yeah.
Justin Willis, Chase Sherman. Oh right, David Branch, Thiago Santos, Brett Johns versus Aljamain Sterling, Jim Miller, Dan Hooker, Magomed Bibulatov versus Yuta Sasaki.
This will be fun.
Dude, this is gonna be fun. Holy shit! Oh, Aspen Ladd versus Leslie Smith. Fuck all the other fights, dude. That's such a good matchup.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, I am... Alright. Oh, Pat Cummins versus Corey Anderson. Another weird but fun matchup.
Yeah, this should be good.
This should be real good. So we will be back on Friday to break that down. We will also be back in our semi-regular, our new regular format, where we let you know all the MMA podcasts you should be listening to. And yeah, man, this has been fun.
Yeah, next time for Monday, I will not have... I'll try my best to reduce the technical difficulties so we can do this in a timely manner. So.
Yeah, well, the good news is somehow, like when we switched to Google Hangouts, your fans' buzzing noise totally went away by the end of this thing. So, I don't know. I guess we fixed it.
Yeah.
So, cool, man. Well, you guys can find us TSOV Pod on Twitter. I am constantly tweeting out any podcast news or shit that I'm listening to during the week that I think you should catch. Like we had posted about that Ally Quinta thing before when it was like very first announced. We were posting Joe Rogan was live with Gus, like as Joe Rogan posted it. So if you guys are looking for MMA podcasts to listen to, follow us TSOV Pod, on Twitter. If you subscribe and like the videos and leave a comment on YouTube, that helps us out. I did not upload last week's video because YouTube is freaking out about it being 3.5 hours long, and I can't get it to upload. So I'm gonna have to do some fucking some maneuvering on that one to get it to work. But that'll be up shortly. And other than that, I don't know. Chris, do you have anything to plug?
Not at the moment, but I just can't look. I can't wait really to listen to a lot of podcasts I'm anticipating this week. Is what I'll say. You're gonna hear a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be a fun episode.
Absolutely. Hey, anytime Ally Quinta starts a new show or is in a long form on mic, I'm pretty goddamn hyped, and I'm really excited to hear that Gus episode that I haven't gotten to yet.
And you already know Aljo's probably gonna make a cameo at some point. Too,
oh, he's got to. I just hope they do a Cinco de Mayo episode where they're drinking.
I could see that. And I hope it happens.
Still my favorite clip of Aljo ever. He was in the fucking giant sombrero yelling shit in Spanish he didn't understand. Oh, man. Anyway, we will wrap this here. But if you guys have any questions, you can hit us up on Twitter. You can send us an email, chris@soundofviolence.com. Rate us on iTunes. All that bullshit. And until next time, we'll be back. Go do something decadent. We out. Bye.